Ladies and gentlemen, next up we have a female adult advanced no-gi fight in the Copa Elite Lightweight Division. Making her way to the mat and fighting out of Chantilly MMA Academy, it's Enkh-Ochir Sanz.
Enkh-Ochir Sanz, fighting out of Chantilly MMA, is a 36-year-old purple belt, has a slew of IBJJF accomplishments, pan medals at white belt, blue, and she has medals at blue belt as well.
She really wants to utilize her takedowns in this match. She wrote quite a long history of a lot of her matches to us with how she utilizes takedowns in order to submit and pressure from the top.
And her opponent, making her way to the mat and fighting out of District Martial Arts, it's Andrea Tang.
Andrea Tang, 34-year-old purple belt, fighting out of District Martial Arts. 2013 IBJJF Nogi Pan American Champion at Masters 1, Nogi European Champion at Masters 1 at purple belt, and Nogi American Nationals Champion. I've seen Andrea a couple times, had the pleasure of commentating a few of her matches over the years in the Copa series. Really enjoy her game and enjoy kind of the speed that she brings to a lot of her matches. Always a fun competitor to get a chance to commentate.
And she's won the Advanced Nogi Women's Division 3 times and once at Absolute.
Yeah, her Absolute matches were fantastic in the Copa series. And we are off. Really nice collar tie in there from Enkh-Ochir to start it off. Again, I think Enkh-Ochir really wants to use the wrestling. She's coming in as the slightly shorter fighter in this bout.
And sometimes being short is good for wrestling, for judo.
Yeah, it gets you into the hips a lot easier.
Especially get the underhooks if that's what you're going for. She doesn't seem to be doing that. She seems to want, to kind of push against the shoulders and to get that collar tie to set something up.
Yeah, that more high stance, trying to break someone down, more snap down game. Again, a little bit of sweeping action that we saw earlier, a little bit of kind of a probing jab with the foot, looking to potentially inside or outside foot sweep. Enkh-Ochir also does have a background in judo, so potentially you have the combination of topside wrestling and the foot sweeps and things like that from judo. Andrea's corner is calling her to set it up, which probably is looking for her to get her grip she wants to begin to move into her game. Both these women seem very happy to stand on the feet.
I'm trying to figure out if she's trying to pull her in, she's trying to snap the head down, or she's trying to get into the hips.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of probing here. Again, it's a 6-minute match, so there's plenty of time. A nice little shot there from Andrea. Doesn't commit too far on it.
But she recovered that very well.
Yeah, that was good. Referee Cam pushing him to the center of the mat then. We were really interesting. There we go. Andrea's going to shoot over for that guillotine. Enkh-Ochir pulls her head out real quick. Move back. We'll see him work a little bit more to the center here, especially if they're going to stand up wrestle. Just give him a little more space on all sides to work. But Enkh-Ochir's doing a really good job of controlling the mat space, really pushing Andrea out on the edge. Nice drop from Andrea that Enkh-Ochir counters with a front headlock. And Andrea Tang's able to circle out of that.
Yeah, it looks like the ladies aren't trying to get underhooks and getting into the hips. It's more they want the hand control and to maybe do that to shoot, to try to get beneath.
That's what I would guess. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Or maybe utilize the foot sweeps from that position. But they're not digging underhooks as you would see sometimes in some wrestling matches.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot more open space stance from distance. So I'm guessing that both ladies are looking for probably a variation of a snap down, and then you're going to snap the person down, they're going to stand up more tall, and you're able to shoot in from that. That's what I'm guessing we're going to see here. Again, just based on the way that we're seeing the hand fighting and the distance that we're seeing both competitors hand fight from,
I mean, the other thing could be that they both respect each other's judo and their stand-up, because when you do commit your hips, you get your hips in on someone, you're able to be taken down just as easy as you can take someone down.
Yeah,
so,
that counter game is right there, especially if you have another person that's confident in their stand-up. You know, the margins are real thin here once you get up into the purple belt divisions. Referee Cam's going to put him back to the center here.
But this is an exhausting thing to be doing on your feet over and over again for these ladies. So it does show, and with time, sometimes people will, start dropping their hands. That's when you're going to see the shots happen, or you're going to see the sweeps, or well, not really a sweep, but the throws happen at that point.
Referee Cam is going to give them both penalty for that. Just looking for more activity, looking for them to both progress the match. He's not seeing enough commitment on any of the entries and the takedown attempts, so he's going to give a mirrored penalty for both athletes in this instance.
And it might just be that Angie wants Andrea to shoot on her so that she can then spin behind, though.
Oh.
Whoa.
There's an outside foot sweep.
Right onto the floor, too.
Yeah, referee's going to let him go. They're going to move him back. We're going to give an advantage for it.
He just kind of moved them back, but he didn't, reset them.
He kept him on the mat, kept him safe, which is great to see. Andrea does a nice job of getting behind there.
And then squaring back up, which is what she needs to make sure that Andrea doesn't jump her back at that point. Just a lot of people jump the back once they get behind into that position. Either drop to the mat and pull them over you, and then jump their back, or do it in the air. But both ladies have a really strong wrestling game, so it is a war of attrition at this point.
Referee Cam's making some modifications to the scoreboard. Some of this stuff was flipped, so we're going to try to flip that back as we reset the competitors. Yeah. So Angie is now up one advantage for that sequence that took place almost off the bounds. Yeah. Which is reasonable. Again, in the IBJJF rule set, when you get close to things, a lot of times that will score you an advantage, and that's what we saw. We saw a near takedown, we saw a near positional change, and so she was awarded an advantage for that. Again, it's not points, but if the match does end 0-0, the next criteria that's looked for is the advantages, and the third criteria is the penalties.
And Andrea almost getting to the back of Angie wasn't, considered the end of the takedown sequence. Correct. It was the takedown sequence as it exited the mats, which is why Angie got the points and not Andrea. Or the advantage and not the...
So we're down to the mat here, and all the referees agree that was a guard pull and not a takedown, so no points are going to be awarded for it. If there's a pulling of the guard, then it's not seen as a takedown in jiu-jitsu, and so no points are awarded. We're seeing Andrea Tang here working from the guard, going back to that body triangle that we saw earlier in the match. Again, if you're the taller fighter, it can be a really good way to control your opponent, but unfortunately, you usually have to open it up if you want to start working for submissions or even for sweeps.
Yeah, it's almost a stall tactic at that point, because it's holding your opponent so close to you that you can't really move your hips in order to go after their arms or try any of your attacks.
Looking for a foot sweep here from Andrea. Does a really good job, almost gets back up, but gets it reset to the feet. Just wasn't able to complete that wrestle up quickly enough where Angie couldn't get her hips back under and stand back up.
And Andrea is doing a good job dropping her level, but she is kind of shooting from too far of a distance to really get beneath Angie, who has really good hips and is able to sprawl out on her every time that she shoots in.
Yeah. Again, Angie's playing a diligent counter wrestling game, whenever there's a shot, because Andrea is so long, she can get to your legs so easily. She's sprawled out. She's hands in front. Andrea's driving through. Really nice shuck to the side there from Angie, trying to stop it, but Andrea digs that underhook, goes to the mat. I don't see the grip that Andrea has, but she is going to get 2 points for that takedown with just 30 seconds remaining.
She just kind of has her arm over, blocking the elbow of Angie's far arm. She's holding her down past her hips, which is, what's considered control in that position.
Yeah. Angie's looking to get up here, but if Andrea can hold her down and prevent a counter.
She has her arm around her head and her neck too right now. I don't know if she has like a guillotine grip, but she at least has the one arm ready to choke from the back if she can get her hooks in.
So because it's chest to back, that's time. Referee's going to stop him.
And that was an exciting match.
Yeah, very exciting finish. Again, you start to wear the athletes down a little bit as time goes on. That late shot, as someone's a little more fatigued, they can't quite stop it. You figure out their timing, you figure out their game, and you can see to those late scores that let Andrea Tang
Ladies and
take
gentlemen,
that by
let's
submit.
hear it for your winner by points. It's Andrea Tang.
Very good tactical match. You get someone fatigued, a little slower, and then finally able to get their timing and drive through. Great match there, great win for Andrea Tang.